Yeah, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with the Big Dogs Morning Show, man. Money making Saturday. My last day in sunny side Las Vegas, the greatest city in the world, during the best time of the year, man. March Madness. Round of 64 is over. The round of 32 begins today. We got plenty of other action under the sun today as well. We got NBA, college hoops, NIT action. So plenty of things to talk about today. And y'all know we're gonna break it down and let y'all know our thoughts, our feelings, our opinions. Good morning, Chris. How you doing today?
Oh boy, yeah, I'm feeling it this morning. Tell you for sure. Yesterday was a little bit rough. Got my butt kicked on a couple of games, but that's kind of the perils of March. Sometimes it's gonna break your way, sometimes it's not. But today's a new day, new money to be made. I'm ready to break down the card with you guys.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Ron Romanelli here on a Saturday. What's happening, bro?
Yep, nice. Good morning to you guys. Nice to be back home. It was a special time in Vegas. Got to meet you guys, and the celebration was, I think, a big success. Special event, meeting the company, meeting some of the fans, and celebrating, the GOAT, the guy who created all this, and somebody will always remember. So, happy to be back home and ready to go for the second round.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Jovan, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, it was a struggle yesterday, and I ended up on the winning side. But those nighttime games, man, the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock window, I have four plays in the mix, and I was lucky to escape with a 2-2 you know t- uh, uh 2-2 night as far as that time slot goes. Overall, it was 7-4. Started off hot early. Won my 7 o'clock game, which was a total. But that those games, I was on Sparty. Sparty pulled out late. Um, I was on a couple duds. Then I had another one that was a late winner that pulled away. Um, I don't know why it's escaping me. Um, Why is it escaping? I don't know why, but it also ended up being a winner, whatever that was. So yeah, it seemed like a struggle, even though it was a winning night. Sometimes you have those. Sometimes it'll be on the other side where everything was looking right until the last 5 minutes of the games, and you end up on the losing side. But I'd rather be on this side than the other side.
Yes, sir. I hear that. I hear that. Man, yesterday, boy, I started the day off hotter than fucking fish grease. I couldn't miss anything yesterday morning. And then the evening, I'm still haven't recovered from it. Oklahoma. I don't even want to tell y'all the dollar amount Oklahoma cost me last night. It's my fault. I did load them up. I loaded they ass the fuck up. And they had every chance and opportunity to win that damn game. Every chance.
And not to cut you off, but I was on the other side. That's the game that I was talking about, where it was a struggle, but my side pulled it out.
They did pull it out. But Oklahoma had every chance to do something. They ended up taking the lead second half. The first lead a team has had on UConn in the second half in 15 games in tournament action. They had it all right there in front of them. They were in foul trouble early, so they were in the bonus for like half the half. And UConn kind of turned it on. What's the name? Caribou? Is that his name?
Yeah, Carabin.
Yeah, Caravan.
Caravan. Hats off, bro. Hats off, Caravan. That's how you take over the end of a college basketball game. That's how you do it. Dagger 3 came back, huge stop, block. I think he came back with a hook shot. That's how you take over a game, Caravan. Shout out to you, Brody. Shout out to you. Gotta get your props, man. He took over the ending of that game. Shout out UConn. Shout out the Hurleys. I got one more game in y'all. Y'all be gone tomorrow. Adios, amigos. We'll talk about them tomorrow, though. We got plenty of stuff to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. NBA last night. I do got to mention NBA last night. Cleveland. You're just as fraudulent as me and Romanelli have been claiming you to be all season long. I can't wait till y'all get beat in the playoffs. Y'all trash ass.
I told y'all who they are, man. I told y'all who they are since the beginning of the season. They're the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert era. That's who they are.
Yep. So I went 2-1 in the NBA last night. My play of the day was originally Clippers. I had already put them in and everything, and then I don't know, I had a gut feeling and I changed it. I never do that, and I did, and I paid the price.
This is why.
Yeah, I paid the price for it. 2-1 last night, Clippers, and forgot who the other one was off the top of my head.
Thunder.
Actually, I left them alone. I should have been the Thunder. Who was it?
Clippers.
It was Clippers and the Blazers. That's what it was.
All right.
But fellas, man, we got plenty to talk about today. Y'all want to do it? Let's do the damn thing. Let's start our day in college hoops. We got a game starting in 15 minutes. NIT action. Dayton, Chattanooga. I know some people care. Game starting in about an hour. Round of 32 action, Midwest region. We got Mr. Aura himself. Mr. Khan, Mr. Aura, and the McNeese Cinderella train. Battling it out with the Zach Edey-less Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue laying 6.5 in that one. And we'll do the other NIT game in the early action. We got Bradley battling it out with George Mason. George Mason, 5.5 point favorites in that one. 3 games to start today in college hoops. Chris, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards McNeese and the 6.5 points here. I just think it's gonna be a game that's gonna be ground down to a really, really slow pace, and I'm gonna want 6.5 points in my back pocket. I could see Purdue maybe still winning this game, but I think McNeese kind of feels like that team that's got some magic to them. So give me McNeese plus the 6.5. Maybe put a sprinkle on McNeese money line.
No NIT action for you, early?
I lean towards Bradley plus the 6. Again, it's sort of the same thing, just a bit of a defensive battle, lower scoring. I can see that being a 67-64 kind of game. So give me the points with the Braves. And
Romanelli, first 3 games today in college hoops. How you feeling?
Yeah, I met Ruffalo this week. He's a great guy. He's exactly what you'd expect to be. Doesn't mean I'm taking it easy on him here. I'm fading his ass right away. Give me Purdue laying the points. I think when you look at Purdue, in that game against High Point, which you could argue High Point, McNeese, similar talent-wise, Purdue got outshot from 2-point range, 3-point range. They were even at the free throw line. They still won and covered against a solid High Point team, won that game by 12. I think Purdue is the much better team fundamentally. I think their shooting percentages are going to go up as the tournament goes along. This is still a good shooting team. Top 16 in the country in effective field goal percentage, top 10 3-point shooting. I think Purdue wins this game, and it's a cheap price because McNeese is off the upset win.
Jovan, how you feeling, brother?
I'm a lean Dayton. They're kind of, not to say that they're up against it, but they're the number 1 seed, and they're on the road on the strength of scheduling conflict in their home stadium. So they have to be on the road once again in Chattanooga this time. Chattanooga knocked off Middle Tennessee. Some call it an upset, but it wasn't an upset in my eyes. I was on them. They were the better team. They have been the better team all year against that Blue Raiders team. But in this one, even though the Flyers, they're not having the best season, they're having a down season, as a matter of fact, hence why they're in the NIT. I think that, in this one, coach is going to be the deciding factor in this one. I like what Anthony Grant does on the sidelines on a night-to-night basis. And, that's really the long and the short of it in this one. So it's just a lean. I'm going to roll with the Flyers, even though they are the road team as a top seed. I'm going to roll with the under in the McNeese State Purdue game. Both of these teams can shoot. That's a given. But Purdue and McNeese, they both like to, grind the game down to a halt as far as their pace. So I think that's going to, come true to form. McNeese defensive leaning team more so than Purdue. So McNeese definitely has a shot to outright them as far as I'm concerned. I think we see, as far as point wise, total wise, I think we see the same type of game that Purdue had in their last game. They gave that opponent every opportunity to cover that game, if not win that game. But uh, that team couldn't get it done. So yeah, I'm on the under in that one. It's gonna hover right around that total, I believe. I think it's gonna be on the shorter side of it though.
Fair enough. For me, I'm gonna lean towards Bradley. I think it's too many points. George Mason, I know they've won 11 straight at home, something like that. This game is at George Mason. It's not fun fading them at the crib. I think Bradley, if there was a team that has the makeup to do it, I think Bradley's the team to do it. I'm just grabbing the point. I'm grabbing the points though. You're gonna give me 2 possessions with a really good Bradley team and their makeup. Like, this is the team that has the makeup to go and beat George Mason. That's just my thoughts. So I'm gonna grab the 5.5 in that one.
I'll say this about that game. Those are 2 of my favorite mid-major teams. Really, 2 of my favorite teams in the country. Love betting on them year in and year out. Been doing that for a long time. George Mason and Bradley. They are similar styled teams, the way they play. Some of their strengths, shooting from 3, emphasis on defense, so on and so forth. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. So that's all I'll say about that one.
Fair enough. McNeese, Purdue. This is pros versus Joes game today. All the pros are on Purdue. All the Joes are on McNeese. Ultimately, it don't matter where everybody at. I'm just letting y'all know what it is. I'm probably siding with the Joes today. The Joes do win. I think my favorite play in this game is McNeese plus the points first half. I think I saw what I needed to see from them in that first half. The energy they came out with and hit Clemson with, I think they come out and punch Purdue in the mouth with that same energy. This is a young, really athletic McNeese team. That's the first thing I noticed about this. How athletic they were, how they get to the rim, and how they finish at the rim. How they get second chance opportunities and put it right back up. Like, we're on your ass with that energy early. And I think that's going to kind of hinder Purdue early. Purdue is the better basketball team. They do have the more top-end talent, but I think this is going to be a game Purdue is going to have to pace themselves and do it in the end, I think, is the style game for Purdue. We saw McNeese kind of run out of gas against Clemson in that last one, and I think we're setting up something similar here. Does McNeese have the gas to run it full game? I don't know. I feel like Purdue's a little bigger down low as well than Clemson was, so they might not have as many opportunities down there. But what I'm willing to tell you, sitting here right now, there's no way in hell I'm laying 6.5 with Purdue. There's no path, avenue, or scenario where I see Purdue just dominating the game. I don't see that happening. I think McNeese is that Cinderella team this year. I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. Do they run out of gas is the $1 million question for me, though. I'm going to take them first half. I'm going to take them plus a 6.5. I'm going to sprinkle outright money line on McNeese. That's how I'm feeling now. Let's keep it rolling, fellas. We got them Calipari boys, man. We got the Calipari boys, Woo Pig Suey, Arkansas, battling it out with Rick Pitino, St. John's. Man, this is a hell of a head coaching matchup in this today. Can't wait to see how this game plays out. St. John's laying 6.5 total, 144.5. We got Wade Taylor and Texas A&M battling it out with Michigan. A&M 3.5-point favorites in that one. And we have Creighton. No, sorry. No. That's the next game. We got Drake battling it out with Texas Tech. Texas Tech laying 6.5 here in this one. 3 versus 11 matchup. Ron, how you feeling?
Well, we know my opinions on Arkansas this year. We faded them quite a bit. And you know what? You got to give them credit. Recently, and I would say in the last couple of weeks, in the month of March in general, they've been a lot more competitive. They get a little bit healthier now with Boogie Flam back in the lineup. I think this is still a complete coaching mismatch in favor of St. John's. But I think it's a
I
miserable
don't see
spot.
how you can say that. John Calipari has the most wins of active head coaches.
Yeah, John Calipari has had the most talent of probably any coach in college basketball history with not the results to back it up. Look at Rick Pitino's team this year. This is a team not necessarily full of superstars, role players that all kind of combined, and they're a 2 seed. And I don't think St. John's is a great team, but I think because of Rick Pitino, they've been able to produce. Unfortunately for St. John's, though, I think it comes to an end, at least against the spread. I like Arkansas plus the points in this one. I think it's a really miserable spot to be laying this many points in a game like this. I think it's going to be very close, similar to the Arkansas-Kansas game that was down to the final couple of possessions. And I think Arkansas finds the cover, if not the outright win. So give me the points with Arkansas. I'm going to take Texas A&M and Texas Tech, the 2 Texas teams, and lay the points with both of them. Michigan, there was a dicey game against UC San Diego. They almost let that lead slip. I think A&M put together the more impressive performance. I like their chances to advance. And then Texas Tech is one of my in a couple of my brackets. I have them winning the whole thing. I'm really high on this Red Raiders team. Had a little bit of a slow start against Wilmington, but they were able to prevail, and I think they're just a much better team in this one. I think they match up really well. So I'm going to lay the points with Texas Tech.
Jovan?
Yeah, that Arkansas St. John's game, been going back and forth on it. It all depends on how this game, plays itself out. But I'm gonna take the points. 7.5 is just a little bit too much, given the fact that St. John's starts off slow. Arkansas is gonna dare them just like the last team dared them to, or that was Southeast South whatever Edwardsville whatever they dared them to take threes and they made threes. They made 14 of them in that game. I don't think that happens today. I think if they're forced to take threes, I think they're gonna miss their fair share of them. So I think the prudent thing to do in this one for me, Arkansas first half. If St. John's finds itself down, take St. John's at halftime for the second half, and load up on them because in the second half they come roaring back. That's what they've been doing, and I wouldn't expect anything less. The fact of the matter is, Calipari has had Pitino's number, but that's because, consistently when they was in Louisville and Kentucky, respectively, Kentucky had, the better team each and every time. And, it was better team, better players versus better coach. And that's no disrespect to Calipari, because Calipari for me is a hell of a coach, but he's more of a recruiting head coach than anything else. So, with that said, I will lean Arkansas. I could see it going either way though. But like I said, I would take Arkansas first half and then St. John's if they're down second half.
Arkansas St. John's. That's a good game today. This is a good game today. Here's my thoughts on it. From a pure talent perspective, I'm just talking talent. These two teams are dead even. Dead even from a talent perspective. One of the reasons I've been so high on the Calipari boys is I just love the makeup of this team. They got this is Calipari himself. He went and got all the guys that have been on runs. We got guys from FAU, guys from Tennessee, we got Boogie Flair. We got the talent to knock down anybody. We have the talent. We might be one of the more talented teams left. The problem is we haven't seen all this. Injuries have derailed the season. We haven't seen all the talent come together this season. I like the under in this game. I think one thing we can for sure bank on in this game is this is going to be a defensive fucking game. St. John's, I believe they're what, top 5 defense this year? I believe Arkansas top 20. Defense is going to show up here. St. John's doesn't give up easy baskets. That's what makes me a little nervous here about Arkansas. Arkansas makes every fucking basket harder than it has to be. If Rick Pitino is this genius coach like y'all say he is, there's this easy game script. If you watch the last game on how to slow this game all the way down. If St. John's comes out in a zone in this game, I will be running to the window and loading the fuck up on St. John's. I'm just letting y'all know right now. So Rick Pitino, that's in your wheelhouse. Arkansas was completely dismantling Kansas when they were in man-to-man. You can't stop Arkansas in man-to-man. They have too much talent. They have too many guys that can go off the dribble. They got guys down low that could turn. We saw McDoo have a huge game in that last one, just eating up in the paint. The minute Kansas switched to that zone, though, Arkansas's fucking offense died. It died. They couldn't get to the rack. They didn't even seem to know how to break the zone. It was a lot of swing, pass, 2 to 3. And they will die in a game like this against St. John's. St. John's comes out here and boxes them up in that zone. So, but Arkansas is the more talented team. I'm telling y'all this. From a talent perspective, I honestly think Arkansas is the more talented team.
I agree.
St. John's might be more well coached. I think Rick Pitino probably is the better coach. I just disagree with Ron with a huge gap. I don't think there's a huge gap.
Huge.
I disagree with that.
Nah, I mean, as far as X's and O's, there's a pretty wide gap.
When it comes to coaching, I attribute everything together, all of it in one bucket.
Good looks, charisma, right?
Recruiting, all of that is.
You just like to see the flashy players. They don't put it together, and they're out in the second round, and you go, "That's a good coach right there. He put together a great team."
He did put together.
Meanwhile, Rick Pitino's like, "All right, you want to join our team?" All these scrubs from all over the place, and then all of a sudden they're a 2 seed.
You gotta look at it like this.
That's not necessarily true either. But
Rick Pitino, as of right now, is the greatest college basketball coach that's left. You know, he won at BU. He took Providence to the Final Four with Billy Donovan as the main guy. He won it all in UK in '96 against Calipari. Well, on the road to that national championship, he beat a Calipari led or coached and Marcus Camby led UMass team. He's won everywhere he's been. He failed miserably with the Celtics. He failed miserably when he was with the New York Knicks. Not a pro basketball coach. You know, he's more geared towards the college level. Came back and won at Louisville with guys that, they were talented, but not as, there was more talented teams in that ever in 2013 than Pitino. He's won everywhere. He won at Iona. I mean, he took him to the dance. He took Iona to the dance. Let's repeat that. He took Iona to the dance with a bunch of scrubs, a bunch of scrap heap guys. So I mean,
now those scrubs are all over them, like Walter Clayton.
Everywhere he's been, he's won in college. I mean, so the proof is in the pudding. The Calipari, he's won everywhere too that he's been. UMass, Memphis, UK, and now here.
And we left Kentucky to prove a fucking point to all of you folk.
Bro, he got pushed out.
Doubting Calipari. I am the coach with the most active wins, and y'all be talking to me like I'm fucking crazy. Are y'all fucking crazy? Arkansas money line.
Stop slamming the desk.
Arkansas money line. We doing the damn thing today. It's a scary bet, ladies and gentlemen. It's a scary bet. The reason
Just take the points.
No.
Take the points. Don't take the money line.
No. The reason I'm scared is the St. John's defense. I'm scared of the St. John's. I'm not afraid of them offensively whatsoever. I'm afraid that they go to that zone and Arkansas will die offensively. But if the Calipari boys worked on offensive sets over the last couple of days, breaking zone, they will win this game. They are the more talented team. They are by far the more battle-tested team. That's the other part of this. One team, toughest competition was Marquette, and we saw them boys go out to New Mexico yesterday. The other team came out of the toughest conference, the SEC. I know the bottom of the SEC got raped. They're all gone. But the one that's not is the one who we knew would be prevailing anyway, which is Arkansas. I got them moving on. I got them in the Sweet 16. It's my story. I'm sticking to it. Chris? Oh, wait. And then Texas Tech, I lean that way. A&M, I lean that way. I'm not in love with either. Not in love with either. Chris?
Yeah, I'm there with you on the under, and I'm leaning towards Arkansas on the points as well. Maybe a sprinkle on Arkansas money line, but yeah, I think it's gonna, like you said, I think it's a live. I think it's, yeah, Javon said too, it's gonna be a good live betting opportunity because you want to be able to see what defense is going to be going to be thrown at Arkansas, because I think Jay hit the nail on the head when it was zone in that game. Arkansas just looked like they didn't know what to do. They just kind of looked like they were scrambling, but
I'll give them some credit. At the end, they did bust through and win the game.
They figured it out eventually, but they almost let it get away. So
watch, it's the NBA.
I'm gonna take Arkansas here. I think it's still just a case of too many points. And I am an admitted Michigan hater. I've been a Danny Wolf hater, but I think Michigan has a chance here. I think there's some shooting regression coming for Texas A&M, not from 3-point range, but they shot 71% from 2-point range against Yale. I don't think that Michigan's going to give up any easy looks inside. I remember watching that game and just thinking to myself, Yale cannot get a stop, because that's all Texas A&M kept doing, was they kept just feeding it inside, feeding it into the paint, and dominating Yale. But with 2 7-footers in Golden and Wolf, I think there's going to be some size to throw up a roadblock inside. I think Michigan's a decent rebounding team as well. I know Texas A&M the best offensive rebounding team in the country, and that's going to be key stopping that. But someone just feels like Michigan wins another close game to me here, so I'm going to lean towards Michigan against Texas A&M.
Let's keep it rolling. Creighton, Auburn, BYU, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, Houston, UCLA, Tennessee. Jovan, how you feeling to close out college hoops?
I'm gonna backtrack real quick. I'm on the Red Raiders. I forgot to mention that. I'm not gonna give too much commentary except to say that it's all well and good that Drake likes to grind down the game to a halt, but Texas Tech is fundamentally sound. They'll be able to withstand that with the few possessions that can be in this game. So I'm on the Red Raiders. I'm also on BYU. It's just a situation where I'm rolling with the hot team in this one. I do see these two teams as similarly styled in some respects. Both can shoot, from deep. But I just like the way that the Cougars turned it on. I believe one of their players said it was after the UCF loss, when they just basically, looked each other in the eyes and manned up. And ever since then, they've been balling, So, and they've gone toe to toe with some of the best teams in their conference, which are some of the best teams in the nation. When you're dealing with a Big Ten team, a lot of times they don't pass the eye test in these tournament situation games. Hence why they haven't won since 2000 any Big Ten team. So, with that said, I would be on the Cougars of BYU. I think they, down the stretch they hit enough big shots more than what the Badgers do. So it'll be BYU for me. Are we going through everything else, right?
Yes, sir.
I could see it under in UCLA and Tennessee. Tennessee likes to do the same things that UCLA likes to do from a defensive standpoint. They like to bully, their opponent. So we're gonna see, one of these slow grind out games, especially in the second half, I believe. I don't think they score a lot in the first half to compensate. So in the second half, they're usually, higher scoring halves between the two anyway, overall from a macro standpoint. So as long as you see a game that's, somewhere in the 60s at the end of the first half, then I think the under's gonna cash. So that's how I will play that one. Take the under.
Unpopular opinion, I have Tennessee winning the whole damn thing. I think they kicked the crap out of UCLA today. I think they take them behind the woodshed. Shout out UCLA. They did beat up on Utah State. I thought it was a fairly decent matchup for them. Tennessee's just a different team, monster and animal. Tennessee's just a different team, monster and animal. Tennessee checks every box for me. And I think in a year where a lot of favorites, I think all 1 and 2 seeds went through. It looks really top heavy. I think of all the 2 seeds, Tennessee is the one that has the makeup to do it, to knock them off, to knock off the 1 seeds and make it through. And I think today's kind of a day where they show that there's a legitimate gap between the rest of the 2 seeds and everybody else, and they're in that bucket with the 1 seeds. Coming into the tournament, a lot of people say this was a top-heavy tournament, and I sort of agree with that. And I have Tennessee in that bucket with the top-heavy. Like, they're of that ilk. If there was 5 1 seeds, Tennessee would have been the 5th 1 seed. Like, that's how I feel about them. I think they beat up on UCLA today. Solid game from UCLA in that last one. They did beat up on Utah State. There's levels to this shit, though. I think Tennessee wins that game comfortably. I'm going to lean towards Creighton plus the points against Auburn. Auburn is that team that was the best team all season long. But the more and more you start to look at them, the more fraudulent they start to look. They probably escaped this game with a win. I don't think they do anything by margin. I think Creighton has the makeup to shock Auburn, is what I'll say. I'm going to grab the points in my back pocket with Creighton. I think that's too many. If Creighton gets hot offensively, they can win this fucking game. They can win it. So I'm going to grab the points with Creighton. Plus 340 is a decent shot. Wisconsin, BYU. I've been on that BYU train a lot this season. I'm going to tell you the same thing I've said majority of the season, though, man. It's hard to trust them neutral floor, not at home. If this game was at BYU would be 4-point favorites. I'd lay that shit. Neutral site, though. Woo! Wisconsin looked a little shaky against Montana. They did. They looked a little shaky against Montana. They did pull away, win in the end. You can't play that way against BYU, though. BYU will shock you. BYU will do it to your ass. And I think BYU going to do it to their ass. It's one of my upsets tonight. I'm taking BYU straight up money line. We ain't even getting no good price on it. So you might as well grab a 1.5. I don't think they're giving us plus money. So you might as well just grab a 1.5 at minus 110. It's going to be a sweat. It's going to be a back and forth game. No matter which side you're on in that game, you're not going to feel comfortable throughout any point in the game. That's probably why I might not bet it. Like, I don't have a clear edge in that game. I just believe the dog has a legitimate chance to win that game outright based on how I've seen these two teams play down the stretch. So, lean towards BYU. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Wisconsin in that one. I just think that, like you said, I think these are two evenly matched teams, but if it's going to become a free throw contest later, free throw is going to be important down the stretch. I want the best free throw shooting team in the country on my side at Wisconsin, shooting 82.7% from the line. BYU, just over 70%. So I think that could come into play here. And so, like I said, it's not going to be easy, but I do think that Wisconsin gets the job done there. And I'm going to take the over in UCLA, Tennessee. I was impressed with what UCLA did against Utah State. But Tennessee, as a team, I think gets a lot of credit for their defense. Maybe not enough credit for how efficient their offense can be. Same thing for Tennessee, though. I think that while Tennessee looked pretty good against Wofford still put up some points and still made a bit of a run towards the end to at least keep it respectable, put some points up late. For me, 130, I think it's 130.5. Just seems a little bit too light. So give me the over, UCLA, Tennessee.
For me, I'm going to roll with Auburn, lay the points against Creighton. I just don't think they match up well, Creighton. Team that takes a ton of threes. They score a lot of their points from the perimeter. They did so against Louisville. They were 11-24 from three, 46%. But Auburn's got one of the best three-point defenses in the country. They push you off the perimeter. They don't really give up too many three-point attempts. So that's already a problem. Also, I think Auburn wins the turnover battle in a big way. And I just think they're too physical. I mean, Creighton played a couple of SEC teams in non-conference play. They lost both of those games. They were pretty competitive. The game against Alabama, at Alabama, they lost by 8, 83-75. But I just think that Auburn's too much here. And, a lot of people talk about how they're fraudulent. And I understand, they probably didn't deserve that number one overall seed based on their performance in the SEC tournament in the final couple of games in the regular season. But I think that Auburn's right now playing with a chip on its shoulder. Still have one of the best players in college basketball. And I think that they win this one, cover the number. I think Tennessee earns the win and cover. I really like what I'm seeing from the SEC in the tournament thus far. Even in their losses, like Mississippi State and Vandy, those were competitive games against good teams. I think Baylor is kind of mispriced or misseeded right now. I think they're a lot better than a 9th seed. So Mississippi State, who has been one of the more disappointing SEC teams this year, only lose by 3 in that one. Goes to show you this is a tough conference. They played a tough schedule all year. And I think Tennessee walks away with the winning cover in that one. Of course, I got to go with Gonzaga plus the points and money line. I think that they are not only, one of the best 8 seeds in this tournament. I think they're one of the best 8 seeds of all time in college basketball. There's no way this team should be an 8 seed. They should be top 5 at the very least. They're a top 10 KenPom team, top 10 in adjusted shot quality. I think that this should be a pick'em line. I don't think Houston should be this big of a favorite, so I'm going to take the points and take Gonzaga on the money line. And, of course, I got to roll with the BYU boys. I've been back in Wisconsin a lot this year, and especially down the stretch, but I think BYU matches up well. Good price with BYU, so give me the Cougars.
Fading your ass. I'm on Houston. Just letting you know.
Go ahead.
I don't even love that game, but I'm fading you. Just out of spite.
I'm fading you.
Sounds good.
Put a hat on it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll take a Houston hat.
Right. I don't want another Gonzaga hat. Come on, Brad.
And no, that should be a good game. There's a reason I didn't really talk about it. I don't love it. I really don't. Gonzaga did look better than I thought they would in the first round.
How many points am I getting?
4.5.
Oh no, hats off.
What you want? What number you want?
I want 5.5.
5.5? Oh no, I can't give you 5.5.
Bets off.
All right.
How about I get money line and I get 2.5 hats if I win?
Do I still
Got
get
a
a
hat down the middle?
We shall see how that one plays out. Anything y'all boys might have missed today, college hoops?
That's it for me.
Yeah, nothing for me.
All righty. National Hockey League Association. Huge card today. We'll do it all in one swoop, though. Canucks Rangers, Flyers Stars, Sabres Wild, Blackhawks Blues, Flames Islanders, Hurricanes Kings, Panthers Capitals, Lightning Hockey Club, Avalanche Canadiens, Senators Devils. Is everybody playing today? God damn.
There's four teams that aren't playing.
Maple Leafs Predators, Red Wings Golden Knights, Kraken Oilers, Bruins Sharks. I think it's me. Line tells you everything you need to know. Line tells you everything you need to know.
I wonder what game you could be talking about.
Plus
I know
105.
exactly what game he's talking
Plus
about.
105? That's all you giving me? That's all you
For the
giving me?
Sharks?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Pure J Shark Chaser play. Line tell you everything you need to know. I'm on the Sharks, bro. I don't like the spot for the Bruins. They were just here in Vegas. Now they got to go to San Jose. You got to add whoop by Vegas too, 5-1. Yeah, I'm on San Jose. I think the line tells you what you need to know in that one. Just line reading. Continuing to fade the Predators. Give me Toronto money line. Actually, we'll do Toronto money line. We'll pair it up with we'll do a 2-team parlay. Stars. There's no way around it. Let's just not overcomplicate this. We had a great formula this season in hockey, and we're just following. The Flyers, they're playing like ass. They've lost 4 of their last 5. The Stars, granted, they're not playing great right now either. Losers of 3 of their last 4. But bounce back spot for them at home coming off that ugly loss to Tampa. They beat up on the Flyers. Pair that up with the Maple Leafs. Little 2-teamer. Chris?
Sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, the only thing that Sharks line tells me is that the books don't trust the Boston Bruins, but I trust the Sharks even less, to be honest. Doesn't mean I'm going to jump on the Bruins, but they've won 10. They're on a double-digit win streak head-to-head against San Jose, but I guess maybe that means they're due. I don't know. I'm just going to sound like a comment section, but I'm going to go with see here. I'm going to go with Toronto in regulation. I'm going to put something on Toronto puck line. Maybe call me a homer, whatever, but Leafs are the better team. The Predators are going to continue to find another way to disappoint. I'm going to take the Islanders. I know that the Islanders started. Ron, you would say they started towards a potential rebuild. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, trade Nelson was like they didn't go full throttle though for some reason, but now here they are.
But I still think that of the two teams, the Islanders have the more stable goaltending right now. Calgary's been a team that I've faded on the road all season. They've been a much better home team, and the Islanders have been able to win some games as of late. Still only 2 points out of the wild card spot, so maybe they'll still compete a little bit down the stretch. But I'll still take the Islanders here. Maybe it's a fade of the Flames on the road more than anything else.
Yep. I'm going to take the Sharks too, not for the same reason as Mr. Briggs, because I think when you look at Boston, they're spiraling. They sold. There's like nobody on this team that was there last year. So I think the line is where it should be because I think the Sharks have shown that they've been a lot more competitive this year. But I'll still take the plus money with San Jose. I think they are the better team right now. So I'll take the Sharks. And I'll take the Predators just to go against Chris's Maple Leafs. Might as well, right?
What?
Over to the NBA, National Basketball Association.
Sure, I took your goddamn Islanders.
Yeah, good. Backstab.
We got the Brooklyn Nets out on the road versus the Indiana Pacers. Pacers laying 10.5. Got the Golden State Warriors laying 2.5 on Atlanta in Atlanta. Hawk Romanelli Saturday. And we got the Knicks laying 15.5 on the Wizards. Should we just do all 5?
Yeah, do all 5.
Bucks Kings. Kings laying 2.5 on Milwaukee. And the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers, my favorite team, laying 9.5 points on your Chicago Bulls. Chris, how you feeling?
Yeah, I know the Warriors have no Steph Curry here, but to me, I'm still going to take the Warriors here because they're 7-3, believe it or not, without Steph Curry this season. This is a Warriors team that it's starting to get healthier. They got Jonathan Kuminga back in the lineup. They still got Podziemski. Jay Butler was able to step it up against the Bucks when Steph Curry missed a couple weeks ago. I I still just think the Warriors are just the better team. The Hawks are so incredibly hard to trust. So give me the Warriors. And I was on them last time. I'm going to roll with them again in the rematch. Give me the Brooklyn Nets plus the 10, 9.5, whatever you can get it at. I think they were unlucky to lose that last game. I think Indiana really starting to fall apart in terms of covering points, but it's just 1-8 against the spread in their last 9. Give me the Nets here plus the points.
A wise man once said, sometimes overrated and overvalued teams win games by margin to remind you why they are overrated and overvalued. And that's what the New York Knicks are going to do today after their disgusting loss to the Charlotte Hornets. They've not been playing good basketball at all, but I think this is a spot where the Knicks just are in an absolute blowout win against one of the league's worst teams. Washington on a back-to-back, second half of the back-to-back after another blowout loss to Orlando last night. They got crushed against the Jazz the game before. And that was the end of look at this. I mean, this is a brutal schedule for Washington. They played that long West Coast road trip. It ended in Utah. Then they get one day off before playing in Orlando and a back-to-back now in New York. Just miserable. Give me the Knicks laying the points.
Joe,
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Brooklyn Nets. What was the first game between these two a couple of days ago? What was it? 8.5? Easy cover? I think they cover again. Indiana's just not in good form. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets are doing what I love teams to do, at least bad teams, which is cover. You can lose all you want, just cover. And with this being a double-digit point spread, I'm gonna back the Nets. I'm gonna take the Wizards Knicks over. I do think we see some scoring based on what the Knicks did last game. I think they, do whatever they want offensively against this Wizards team. That's what they usually do anyway. So I don't think anything's going to change with that. And I think that Washington's going to contribute enough scoring to get this one over the total of 222.5. So take the over in that. I'll take the under in the Warriors-Hawks game. I know the Hawks don't play much defense, but it's not about them. It's about the Warriors. I think the Warriors bring forth a strong defensive effort, and that's going to be the catalyst in this one. So take the under in that.
I'm on the Pacers. Quick revenge spot at home. This game reminds me of Minnesota. Minnesota had no business losing to New Orleans. Then they came back the next time and took their ass on the shit. I think Indiana does the same thing tonight. Fading Brooklyn on the road isn't fun, though. I'm going to be honest. Brooklyn is a solid ATS team on the road. They're actually, 21-12-1 ATS as an away underdog. They've covered in over 64% of their games as an away underdog. So I'm telling you, fading them on the road ain't fun. But I think Indiana gets back on the right track today. It's just a quick revenge spot at home. They've been winning games. They just haven't been doing it dominantly. I think tonight they do it dominantly. Keep an eye on them Pacers in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to keep telling y'all that. They was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. It would not shock the hell out of me if they was back in it again this season. I'm on the Warriors. No Curry. No problem. Roof gave y'all the number. Hawks, they're dead. They're not dead, but I don't trust them in this spot. I don't like their injury report right now. Trae Young, GTD, LeVert, GTD, Capella out. The Warriors, man, I've been telling y'all, I told y'all, as soon as they acquired Jimmy Butler, I saw it. Lakers, Warriors, Western Conference Finals. It is what it is. The NBA sold their soul this season. They did it for the reasonings of ratings. And if you think they not finna plan this shit out all the way right to get it exactly the way they want it, Boston Lakers NBA Finals, ratings problem fixed. Warriors Lakers Western Conference Finals, you get Curry LeBron one last time.
What's the seeding right now within the Western Conference?
It's ugly. Lakers right now currently 3 seed, Warriors 6 seed, but I don't So right now they end up playing each other first round, but I don't foresee that staying that way.
Well, yeah. So if that holds, which I'm not gonna say it's not, then you're gonna see the last ride in the first round between these two. So
it could end up happening that way where they play first round, but I think we're gonna get some dodging around. Like Lakers are right now above Denver because of the loss column. Denver has an extra win up on them. We're just in a weird, funky point in the season where like all this shit really don't matter. It'll matter here, and like I don't want to start playing the standings game until probably like April. Me personally.
Well, I mean, you have to. It's only like 14, 13, 12 games remaining for these teams. It's down the stretch, and depending on how, like in the East is pretty solidified where a lot of these teams are going to be. In the West, it's
in the West,
up.
They're all two. What is it? The 3 seed and the 6 seed are separated by 2.5 games.
Right. So there's a lot of jockeying position.
Exactly.
Every game matters. So it could look totally different.
That's what, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But as of right now, we want to see that Western Conference Finals that you're looking for. We'll see that first round action, and one of these legendary play or teams with legendary players, they're gonna see themselves out of this playoffs.
They're not playing first round. You can book that. Western Conference Finals. I have a ticket on it. If you believe me, rock with me. Let's do it. But I think the Warriors handle business today. They have no Curry, no problem. Since acquiring Jimmy Butler, this team has been the hottest team in the NBA. Hottest team in the NBA. It's not even close. This team was in the play-in. Now they're the 6th seed. Also, I'm going to take your Chicago Bulls plus the points today against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Bulls have been my team post All-Star break. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I love what I'm seeing from Chicago. They're just gritty, competitive, and bad. They're my style teams. Bad, gritty, competitive teams. Teams nobody want to bet on. They ain't got no star. Ain't nobody want to bet Chicago but me. I want to bet Chicago. Where are they right now? Where's Chicago right now? Chicago is in that 9th spot. Oh, okay, Chicago. They're back. They're back where they belong. In that 9-10 spot in the East in the play-in. That spot is owned by Chicago. They're not going to get too high out of it. They're not going to get too low out of it. That's exactly where they're going to be. I think since the play-in has begun, the Chicago Bulls have been in that 9-10 seed every season. They own that. Tonight, they're going to be competitive. They're not going to beat the Lakers, but they'll be competitive. I don't trust the Lakers tonight from an ATS perspective. I will say, though, that's kind of a contradicting statement based on how the Lakers have been at home this season. I don't even know if many people know, but the Lakers right now are the 3rd best home ATS team in the league behind Oklahoma City and the Clippers. The Lakers 24-12 ATS at home this season, have covered in 67% of their games. Fading LA in LA ain't fun. But Chicago is just a gritty enough, competitive enough team to go in there and get a cover. And I'm on the Wizards just out of spite. The Knicks don't deserve to be laying 15.5 on anybody in their current form. The only reason this line is 15.5 is, say it with me now, ladies and gentlemen, is because the Knicks are overrated and over fucking valued. They have been all season long. I don't even have this team in the Eastern Conference Finals. Shout out to Knicks, though. Shout out to him. Chris?
You're going first here.
All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to think about that for a second. I was like, did I go first?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. We made it to the end of the show. Chris, what you got over for sale today over at Big Dogs Premium?
Yeah, right now I got just my college basketball play of the day. Unfortunately, North Carolina let us down yesterday, but locked and loaded for today. Got an NHL early action play, and I got my NHL power play. Each of those are $25. So might throw together a 3-pack, but right now those are individual. But great time to still jump on long term as we have a ton of action still this weekend and tournament action, college hoops action the rest of the week, NBA, NHL, you name it.
Hop on with the franchise. Do the damn thing today. Ron, what you got going on?
Yeah, I got 3 plays in college hoops today. My bank shot best bet is one of my favorite plays the entire season. You can get that play individually or in a 3-pack with my other 2 selections, which I also really like. I think we have a good chance at a sweep and at least a winning day. I really love that bank shot best bet, so check it out at Pick Dogs Premium.
Javon, what you got going on today, Brody?
Yeah, I got a 6-pack in college basketball action altogether. 3 for the afternoon time slot and 3 for the nighttime primetime time slot. Really like the plays that are going down today. Been on the heater in college basketball. Been on the heater in the NBA as well. I'm the number 1 handicapper at this point, I believe, in the NBA. Might put out an NBA play. I'm gonna look over something real quick before I make that decision. But regardless, jump on something long term and get some of that action because it's hot over on this side.
Hop on with Javon, man. Continue to kick the crap out of the books. You guys can hop on with me. I'm gonna say profitable last 2 days. It's been a grind. It's going to continue to be a grind. This is not a get rich quick scheme. But I am putting the work in. We did drop both my top plays yesterday, which was super frustrating. That was super frustrating. Because we had a fucking monster day yesterday. And then lose the top plays. Cavs are dead to me. Oklahoma. That's on me, though. I got probably 3 for y'all today. 2 college hoops, 1 NBA. Let's do it. Let's make some money today. Hop on something long term. Major run is on the horizon. If you believe me, let's do the damn thing. Parlay time, ladies and gentlemen. Parlay. Chris, what you got, Birdie?
Let's go with the hockey parlay. Let's go with the Islanders. Let's go with the Maple Leafs. And let's go with the Washington Capitals.
Right.
I'm going to go with a chalk parlay money line. Purdue, Tennessee, Texas Tech.
Javon?
Yeah, this is the Big 12 2-teamer. Texas Tech Red Raiders, BYU Cougars, and then I have another one, which is McNeese State, Purdue under, and UCLA, Tennessee under.
Add McNeese to this parlay if you can. I know it starts in 5 minutes. McNeese plus the points, Creighton plus the points, Washington Wizards plus the points. 3 dirty dogs. 3 dirty dogs. McNeese, Creighton, Washington Wizards. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. We made it to the end of the show. Any final words from y'all fellas before we get out of here?
Let's make it a winning day.
Make it a winning day, man. Try to act more professional tomorrow. I'll be home tomorrow, finally. I ain't been home, y'all, in like a week.
The long pause tells you how long it's been.
I ain't been home since like Tuesday last week, I feel like. It's been a long, long trip, man. Long trip. But back home tomorrow, refreshed, ready to go. See y'all then. Scoop up our best plays over at Pick Dogs Premium. Jam session to be up after the show. No graphics today. Y'all can kill me if y'all want to. We'll be back to regular schedule programming tomorrow, though. And yeah, that's it. Appreciate y'all boys, man. See y'all tomorrow. We out here. Peace.